Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. Thank you very much for joining me. So, I wanted to talk about the channel panel event, particularly the channeling from Rob Ganter that was Aridif, and Treb showed his head and raised his hand. Actually, he was per requested he was. And now I suggested just downloading it and watching day one, because day one, I love both days, but day one really changed my frequency aggregately. I couldn't sleep that night. I had an awareness that has even been growing since then, but was just staggering as far as being conscious of who and what I am. So many things were talked about, but the overall topic and theme was the same that you would hear from almost all the other channels. And it's said in different ways. Sometimes it's said explicitly, like from Bashar, follow your excitement, and ways to do that. There were questions where, am I doing what I should be doing? Am I going where I should be going? Am I being service? Is I be of service to yourself first? Because being of service to yourself is being of service to the whole. Make yourself happy. Follow your own excitement. This idea that you need to do things is really driven into us collectively in society, through marketing, parent, teacher, preacher, you name it. Theology, this idea that you need to do this for someone or else you can't do it for yourself. You need to either do it for God or honor your mother, brother, sister, or father instead of honoring yourself first. And if you're not happy and you're trying to make everybody else happy and what you want is not the same as any other human being on the earth, there are going to be problems from that. So there was a lot of conversation in that regard spanned through this type of idea. Treb even touched on this a little bit. There was really more tuning into your own vibration. And something else is coming up is that there was a discussion of somebody who felt like they could be in a channeling state, like myself, who could, I'm channeling my higher self and multiple concurrent lifetimes and other entities and other densities, because they all are a part of my oversoul. They are me. But I mean, channeling a unique individuated consciousness like Bashar or Adronis or Treb or Aridif or any number of those ideas. I had the same problem in that, well, not exactly the same. I'm not fearful of channeling or letting through a negative entity. It's the letting go part and surrendering. I don't know, for some reason I don't want the surrender idea. So there's nothing to surrender to but yourself. So that's where I have conflict, so I resonated with that as well. And last thing that wants to share that I've heard from the Pleiadian Collective, and I forgot if it was from Wendy Kennedy or Nora Herold, but there was something that was mentioned, and it could be kind of a meditation, but it's the mechanics of what's happening. In the Pleiades, the star Alcyon, and this was mentioned by Aridif, was and is sending rays of light, and they go through our sun and then recommunicated down to Earth. And these contain, Alcyon is like the library repository of knowledge for this part of the galaxy, from my understanding. And there's energy upgrades, there's codon upgrades, there's information, there's history, there's tons of stuff there. And one of the exercises that wasn't mentioned by Aridif, but I've heard from the Pleiadian Collective, I forgot it was in the 9th density or 12th density, but they said basically these rays are coming down. You can imagine them coming through your crown and coming down and spiraling in and anchoring you to the earth, and then an energy coming up from the earth and anchoring you in and allowing all that in. And that's kind of like a super crown chakra opening. And I'm adding that, but it's, codon upgrades, energy upgrades. I mean, all these things are going on concurrently, and you're grounding yourself to the earth, but you're getting all this information. And Alcyon was mentioned in this conversation by a different entity, by Aridif. It's interesting. And because I'm deeply identified with Alcyon. The other thing that wants to share is people are always asking, not just of Aridif, but of multiple entities. Do I have connections to here, to there, to the, to Pleiades, or to Sirius, or to this, this particular civilization, like Bashar civilization, or the YahYel civilization, all these types of ideas? And the answer is yes, because genetically 1/7 is is, Pleiades and 1/7 is Sirius, and so on, from the 7 entities that lent their energetics through different density states to make the human form and energetics, so that we can have a broad range of vibrations, and they were both what we would consider positive and negative, type 1 and type 2. So you are connected to everything, and you have guides from different places. You can even be your own guide in a different density state. For instance, you could be like a Treb or an Aridif, and you're communicating with this entity. It could be an aspect of your oversoul, so you're literally communicating with yourself. And at your density state, you don't remember, because your division in largeness of consciousness is divided smaller than Treb. Treb has an aspect of you in him, for instance, if you are an oversoul connection. So everybody's always asking, hey, am I connected to this? Am I connected to that? Yes. And if you're asking that question, the answer is yes, because if you're feeling that, you're just translating that through a belief system that maybe you don't deserve it, or it's I'm not quite sure. If you're getting that impression, that it is very, very likely the case. So listen to your heart, process through your heart, and look to your heart for those answers. And if it's not clear, then just find meditations and exercises and people and places and things that can get you more clarity. I'm hearing now that there's going to be ayahuasca retreats in the U.S., and that's very interesting, in ayahuasca church. So that's also a permission slip. There's tons of different ways you can get that done. Not endorsing that, I'm just saying, hey, I heard that, I'm like, that's interesting. I do retreats. I'm not going to do ayahuasca retreats, but I'm like, that's kind of cool. And, more consciousness expanding out. More people having the opportunity to do a healing. More people to actually have an opportunity to experience, in a good set environment with good guides, ayahuasca type of idea, and have that type of spirit journey. So, checking to see if there's anything else that wants to share. I get the impression, because I've had a conversation with Treb, and Aridif actually came in, chimed in, whatever you want to call it, and lent his energy and answer to a question as an elaboration. I'm getting an impression from both of them that they send up their love, and Treb says yes. And I've been making a connection with many different entities, not with the eventual goal to do a channeling, but when I had a conversation with Treb, it was stated that I was, there's three stages, like more of an energetic, more of a coding and energetic, and then there's one that is a combination of all of them, and that can be oral or verbal, maybe even, hearing like audibly, or channeling, actual physically channeling. And I was very close a while back, March, to that state. So if you want to see that, if you do a search or look through my videos, and if you type Treb in my videos, it'll come up. It says Glenn Lewis Parker Talks to Treb. You can actually listen to that session. That was pretty cool. And I have one that talks to the founders from Daniel Scranton as well. It's like an hour, 15 minutes. I'm a wordy, questiony little thing. So I think that's everything that wants to share. Thank you very much, Rob, again, for all your support and doing the channel panel event, and of course Kalina and all the people that went into doing this event. Something like that is just an epic endeavor, and they pulled it off beautifully. So thank you both very much as well. Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching life, business, and spiritual. Also retreats, boys and girls. Not ayahuasca retreats, but spiritual retreats. Realignment. Get into the new energy. And down below in the description, there's tons and tons and tons of stuff going on. Email address, coaching, Etsy store, Twin Flames, retreats, blah, 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 blah. Check it out. And last but not least, please do like, subscribe, and share. And Happy New Year.